The story starts out at where I know I'm going to end up. So this is for Mr. Jimmy, who is currently in the hospital. I don't qualify. I qualify who I introduce my kids to. And Mr. Jimmy's not one of them yet. I met him when I first started coming to the courthouse as a paralegal. I'm sitting there. I look like I'm supposed to be there. I'm dressed to the nines. I have on heels, so you know I'm uncomfortable. Don't piss me off. I have on makeup. I have on a dress. I am there for a job. I have no answers. I have no law degree. But I'm there to write down details and smile and nod and get phone numbers and all the really unnecessary things that involves lawyers and their work. On the 5th floor of the courthouse is state court. State court is the misdemeanor court. And when you go and you feel really out of place every time you go somewhere for the first time, the bailiffs at the courthouse are always the ones that usher you away. They tell you to take your hands out of your pockets, where to sit, don't chew the gum, you need to be quiet. But they're all very interesting people. Mr. Jimmy had one of his fingers was sectioned off. He had no problem telling me, "Oh, I lost that at the Candy Crown Company when I worked there." I'm sorry, you lost a finger. I had Mr. Butch, the Marine, who made fun of me. He died recently. I had Mr. Rocky. I've got Miss Harris. I miss them all very much. But Mr. Jimmy is currently in the hospital. I love him. He had a finger missing. He told me a story, and I've literally, this past weekend, went to LJ to find him honey. He used to go find water sources in the mountains. And he said, "Oh, I love LJ. LJ had the best honey." So every time I go up there, I'm always looking for honey. But my husband refuses to take me anywhere local because that's only what outsiders do. So I've never been downtown LJ. He will not let me go to the Apple Festival. I only see the dark inner roots of LJ. And I didn't find him honey. I go every time when I look, and I didn't find any. Today I found out about him being in the hospital. I'm honestly very upset right now. But he told me a story about there's not many people of color in LJ, which is odd to me. I've been here my whole life. That's perfectly normal to me. Up there, not so much. Hard mountain folk. Mountain folk are scary. I fear them with a healthy fear. I respect them. He said he was in Walmart one day, and these little kids kept running up behind him. And there was just a gaggle of them, running up and laughing, and then running away, and then coming up behind him and laughing. And he's like, "What are these kids laughing at?" One of the people with him said, "Oh, these kids are crazy." Finally, one of the kids stopped and had the guts to ask him, "Can I see your tail?" He said, "They thought I had a tail." I said, "No, God, I'm sorry, Mr. Jimmy." His reaction to that was laughing hysterically, smiling about it. This man went and looked for water in LJ, worked at Crown's Candy Company, and then spent the past few years being nice to people for a profession as a bailiff. I've already told many of the bailiffs that I've come in contact with that that's where I'm going to end up. Fit me for a jacket. I'm never going to quit working. I want to be a bailiff. Mr. Crawford, the bailiff, let me in on the little tidbit that one of the courtrooms has the second level in it that they used during segregation. If I hadn't have asked that, and if I hadn't had those interesting people to talk to and be nice to me and humor me through my ignorance, I wouldn't have known. So every time I go in there, I'm like, that's what they use for segregation, because you see the seats are like this wide. They're not this wide, they're this wide. You can't go up there really, but I haven't introduced my kids to them because I haven't had the opportunity to. And as I sit here about to cry, I really hope Miss Jimmy gets okay, because I went up to state court with COVID 2 weeks ago just to say hey to him, because I missed him. Not many people are in a good mood in the courthouse. It's usually the worst day of their life that they're there. So anybody that can make that day better is a real treasure to the community, and Mr. Jimmy's one of them. I do miss my bailiffs a lot though, and I can say this might be the one case that gets to me, because I haven't had anybody close sick, thankfully. But I texted him, I got his cell phone number, and I texted him, to check Facebook, because I was going to be live and the story was going to be about him. And I hope he gets this, and I hope that he hears it, that he knows that I'm rooting for him, and I will see him as soon as I can. Thank you.